Hi, good afternoon, it's Graham Martin. I'm the recruitment guy with part 8 in our 17 steps to job hunting success. And today I want to talk to you about what you must do in more detail before you go for the interview. So you've sent off your application, you've sent your brightly coloured envelope, you've had a call back or an email, they want to see you. And they want to see you in a couple of days' time. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to stalk that company. You're going to do some really great research. I want you to know almost as much as anybody possibly could do without working within that organisation for a couple of years. So this is your chance to be Sherlock Holmes, to do your detective work, to really get under the skin of that organisation. And we'll talk later about what we're going to do with that research, but at this stage we're thinking about, of course, Facebook. We're thinking about LinkedIn profile, not only of the organisation but of people that work there. And you know I talk about hardback books. Well, we'll come into the reason why later, but you're going to start to get all this lot down in a research format, as if you were producing a thesis for college or university. You're going to become an expert in that organisation. I want you to find out what they do, who they do it for, who the competition is, how long the company's been going for. Now, back in the day, this research was quite hard to do, but with the internet and with Google and all the other search engines, it's so easy these days. And surprisingly, the people that are going to go for the interview as well won't do as much research, but they will do some. So your job is to do even more research than they do. So start building up a family tree. Who's the chief executive? Who are the directors? Who are the managers within the business? Who does what? How many departments? And it doesn't do any harm to pick up the phone and speak to the organisation and say, look, I'm coming for a secretary, I'm trying to build up a profile. But don't ask the obvious questions. Don't ask the questions to them over the phone that any idiot can get from the internet or their own data or their own website, for instance. Start thinking about who the trade organisations are, any bodies, professional bodies they might apply to. Speak to these organisations about that company. Try and get a copy of the trade magazine or maybe the trade website. Most organisations, businesses, professions have got a website that is the kind of the august body. They've got all the intelligence, all the statistics and all the information about that particular sector and indeed careers. So really start plumbing the depths here. Just talk to other people that have been working for competition perhaps. Ask your friends or family. Put a note out on Facebook. Anybody worked for this company before? I'm going for an interview. What can you tell me? Or maybe you say I'm going for an interview with a company that sells wood. Anybody know anybody that's worked in the timber sector? Or maybe you're applying for a job as a trainee accountant. Well, go to the Association for Accounting Technicians and find out what they know about that company. So your job is to do some really good research. Now, consider this. If you're applying for a job, and let's say it's for a position in the UK of, let's say £25,000. I'm slightly distracted. There's a robin sitting just over there right now. I haven't seen a robin here. I think I'm in his territory. He's puffing at his chest. Anyway, back to this. Your competition will do some research. Your job is to do even more. So please think about doing this and getting a really good sense of the organisation. You're not going to do this in 5 or 10 or 15 minutes. Spend a couple of hours and ask a friend. Imagine the kind of questions they'd expect to ask you if you've been working there for a couple of months. What would you reasonably be expected to know? So it's this kind of depth. And for my money, organisations often hire people that they feel have done a lot more research than anyone else. Doesn't mean they're the best candidates, but it does mean they've put the effort in. If you put the effort in before you go for the interview, that's a good indication of somebody that's actually going to work very hard at the organisation. The number of times I've hired for myself and I've said to the interviewee, so what do you know about Orchard recruitment? And they know very little, or they just tell me a little bit about what they've read on the internet, but they've done no research at all. Guess what? Those people never get further than the first interview. In fact, I'll probably cut it quite short. So that's my tip for today. Do your research. Use LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, and if you've got access to somebody who knows how to use Companies House, then you can actually download the company accounts. You can see what their balance sheet is, what their profit or loss was, but also importantly who the directors, who the owners of the business are, and also their shareholdings, and other companies that are within the same group. That kind of information is priceless. So roll up your sleeves, get stuck in, get yourself a coffee or a tea and a plate full of biscuits and do your research and write it down. And once you've got that format, you can start to use that format and that process when you apply for other organisations, because you know you might not get the first job you apply for, and understanding this research concept is very, very valuable. So good luck with that. I'll see you later. I'm off for a surf. Bye for now.